no
Hey,
one.
And who's your team anyways,
hey, fuck it.
Joel?
Hey, fuck it. Whenever you want to do the intro, June, you do it. But we live, we
Hey,
streaming. Fuck it.
Who's
Let's
your
go. Tag a
who's your
Celtics fan.
team?
Fuck it.
Joel, who's your
I'm
team?
trying to mute my phone. Hold on, since we
Wait,
live, I'm
Joel,
about to
who's your
mute my
team?
phone.
We live. Fuck it. That's
Who's
how
his
we doing
team?
it today.
Let's go, baby.
Fuck it.
Hey,
You know this is the All
He's
Things
a Heat
Sports
fan. You know he's a Heat
podcast.
is a
fan.
Heat fan?
Yeah.
He knows I'm a Heat fan.
Bro,
Shout out to SP in the background. Shout out
guess
to
what?
my co-host, Small
Why
Town
you coming
EP.
after
Shout
me?
out to
I
my
seen
special guest,
I,
Big Time Kev.
bruh.
Hey, it's a lot going on right now. We just kind of got live. We went live. I love it. Small Town Studios is going up right now. Philly
Yeah.
is up 1-0. It's ironic that I put on
I gotta
the
turn
Philly
that.
hat. I ain't even really realized that. Look, I put on the Philly hat, so SP would be really mad if he saw me. But if you hear some talking in the background right now, SP's on a phone call because other fans of other teams are letting them have it for the Celtics being down
I
1-0.
think
It is
it's a
what it
Heat
is.
fan. I think it's a Heat fan that's letting them have it. Actually,
Okay.
But
it is.
yeah,
It is.
man,
It's a Heat fan that's letting them have it right now.
this is playoff season, man, and at the end of the day, when your team wins in
Yeah.
a series, especially a semifinal series, a game is huge. So you take that 1-0 lead, you take that 0-1 loss, it either feels great or it feels horrible. And Knicks fans, welcome to the show. I appreciate y'all for listening. I appreciate y'all for support. Honestly, but there's a lot of Knicks fans that are like, yo, I'm not even upset. At the end of the day, bro, every single fan is upset after a playoff loss, bro. That's just how it goes as a fan. If you really love your team, you're going to feel it and you're going to feel upset. It's not to say you're going to be holding on to it and thinking it's the worst thing ever, but to be like, I'm not even mad. We knew they'd win this a game in the series. Like, bro, why aren't you mad? How? You was rooting for them the whole game and they didn't win. How are you not? You don't go from cheering somebody's name all day and then just quiet for the last 5.5 minutes and say you're not mad. That doesn't. But listen, anyways. By the way, E, we're gonna get a better link. What we got to do is we got to get the link from the actual YouTube. Like go on YouTube, click on the video, get that link, because that link that we be finding, it don't be ham. So,
Shit. All right.
it is what it is. We'll find a link. If you know a Celtics fan, tag them. Invite them to the stream. If you know a Knicks fan, tag them. Invite them to the stream. If you know a Heat fan, tag them. Invite them to the stream. If you know a Warriors fan, tag them. Invite them to the stream. But look, man, like I said, this is the All Things Sports podcast. We just obviously on one tonight. It's Monday night. I'm coming off of a Heat victory. Me and Kev over there celebrating. Kev, listen, I had a great day, bro. I got to see Pat Riley. I know you saw the video. I got to see Pat Riley. I got to see Max Strus. I got to see Duncan Robinson. I got to see shout out to Orlando Robinson and Hayward Highsmith. I got to see who else was out there?
So did you?
Caleb Martin. I dapped up Caleb Martin and dapped up Chris Quinn, Coach Quinn, and Caron Butler was out there. It was lit.
Oh,
Was it by chance?
No,
Oh, okay. You got the drop.
no, this was purposeful.
Oh, you got the
Intent.
drop on
You
him.
got the drop.
This
on
was
him.
intent.
Hey, and he spun
This
the
was
block
intent.
on him too. And he spun the block too.
I did my research, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to the Heat, man. Shout out to, just the city of New York for being so hospitable. I'm sure those rooms in the hotel they staying at is beautiful. I'll say that. But
They got the
And
small
Pat-
joints. They got the
did
small
Pat-
rooms with the missing towels and all that.
I promise they don't, fam.
They get hospitable. Get the fuck out.
Listen. Whether you like them or not, the Miami Heat are gonna be cared for and taken well cared
Not
of.
in the
if that
playoffs.
even makes sense.
Not in the
Anyways.
playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Was it my imagination or did Pat acknowledge you?
You saw that.
He turned and
You
he
saw that.
pointed. Yeah.
You saw that. You
Yeah.
saw that. I'm glad you saw that. Yes. It was not it was what you saw on camera was what I saw with my eyes. That shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
man, this is dope. I didn't get to see Bam, Jimmy, Coach Spo, but I got to see the Godfather.
In public. Jimmy took the back
Yo, he
door,
was walking in
don't
the
wanna
street,
expose
bro.
anything.
If you go check his story, bro, he was walking in the street
Oh, yeah?
all over. Yeah, you go look at his story, bro. It's cool. I'm like, bro, Jimmy's outside.
Yeah, I just hope that ankle's okay. If it's not, he can have mine.
He can have yours. He could take UD's. Who said that? You said that, or
Nah,
somebody
that was
mentioned
Nah,
like,
I
yo,
said
he could do a
But that's
surgery.
funny.
with UD and take his ankle because he not using it. I was like, yo.
Nah,
Wicked.
UD needs his ankle just in case he needs to go check somebody like he did Bobby Portis.
Facts. But look, man, look, it was one game. We're coming down off the high. It's game 2 tomorrow night, which would be Tuesday at the Garden, 7 o'clock. It's gonna be competitive. It's gonna be a dogfight. Jimmy's probably not gonna play. Randall might sit out another game, seeing that Jimmy doesn't play. I'd like to see how they say that. Jalen Brunson goes on questionable today, which is funny, but I think he'll play. Um, it's gonna be an interesting series to see how Coach Spo deals with the Jimmy ankle and how Jimmy can deal with the Jimmy ankle going forward. I give credit to the Knicks. Game 1, they came out strong and played a good first half. And then that third quarter, we really turned it up on them boys and took advantage of their missed opportunities and mistakes. Um, Refs is going to always be mentioned when you're talking Knicks basketball and when you're talking, casual NBA anyways, because it's what it is. People travel, they don't call it. People carry, they don't call it. People foul, they don't call it. It's the life of the NBA player. All right. I'm not going to be the one to tell you the game's going to come down to the ref or feel this like, oh my God, like, yeah, it happens, bro. It happens, but it is what it is. Kev,
Also,
give me
when it
some
comes to
thoughts
the
on game
refs,
1 and then,
oh my bad. Go. No, I'll finish
No,
my
no,
thought
no.
after you. On game 1, you said?
No. I was gonna ask you about game 1 and then thoughts going into game 2, but you can definitely just tell me what you was gonna say.
Yeah. So I was just gonna say about when it comes to refs, like I don't think the Heat feel bad. We just dealt with Giannis last series, and I think there was a game where he shot more free throws by himself than we did as a team. So the ref talk doesn't really, you know, do
And there
anything
are
for me.
those Heat fans, that there's every type of fan for every situation. So at the end of the day, every organization is gonna have their fans that say this or feel this. There's gonna have their
Yeah.
fans that this, that. It is what it is, bro. Listen, that whether they helped your team or hurt your team that day, we can't do nothing. The players can't do nothing. The coach can't do nothing about it. So why are we talking about it? Is my
Yeah.
sentiment. But
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead with your thoughts for game 1 and then going into game 2 with the Jimmy thing.
I mean, game 1 came out a little scary. Getting down early, getting down double digits early. Um, but this team I don't think is really phased by that. We just played the 7-game series against the Celtics last year. I don't think this team is like intimidated by the playoff
Definitely not.
atmosphere or anything like that. Um,
It's
I'm
evident.
like yeah, clearly. I mean, I get so torn on Gabe mid game because there's shots that he takes that I'm just like, what are you doing? But then those shots go in, and when those shots are going in, it's like, what can you really say? So
Mhm.
I thought he's stepped up all playoffs, I think, and I think he's still underestimated. I think this whole team is underestimated just because of the season we had. But you look back at last year and what everybody did. If that team comes back and is playing this year, then this. I mean, this is a competitive basketball team. It's just a matter of can they knock down shots and can they play defense and get back to that identity they had all last year, which they didn't show all regular season, but they've shown so far up to this point in the postseason. Going into game 2, obviously you need Jimmy, but again, this team is a weird team. They've like all year it was like, let's get through the season, let's be over with this season already, and now it's like this team has become one of the more exciting teams in Heat history, probably after knocking off Giannis. And now you got a series against the Knicks, and if you can advance past this, who knows what's to come. But looking to the next game, game 2. I mean, if you can get a win in game 2, you pretty much, you don't
And we
win the
know what it
series, but
means when
yeah, you come back
we
home
know
up
a lot of
2-0.
what it means when the Heat win game 1 or lose game 1. That's kind of where we're at with it. Like when the Heat win game 1, looks like we're gonna win the series most times. When we lose that game 1, we're like,
Yeah.
we lost game 1 to Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, right? Or what?
Yep. Yeah. Or I believe so.
It's a big, and it was home. I think it was a
Yeah.
home game that we lost. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I feel like we lost. it was a huge game. And by the way, everybody, thank you for listening and supporting the podcast. We're gonna talk about the NFL draft. We're gonna talk some baseball, so stay tuned for that. We obviously got to get our heat shit off real quick. Um, we got to talk our NBA playoffs. Kev's obviously wants to jump right back in. Let's get it. What up?
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say, I think the biggest outside of Jimmy being healthy, the biggest factor in the series is Spo, and I don't think Tibbs can outcoach Spo, and
So
so that
I
the
agree to it. Sorry, go ahead.
no. I was just gonna say like the way that they pulled Mitchell Robinson out of the paint, especially in the second half with the empty corner pick and roll, it was working for them all game. And after the second, and they stuck to it. It was that and go to Jimmy and
Yeah,
let Jimmy do his
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So when Spo finds something that works, he spams it until you can stop it, and if you can't stop it, then
He'll
he's gonna
find the next
expose
thing
you.
that works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
or he'll find the next thing that works. If
to
anything,
me,
I
that's
was
been
gonna
their
make a
biggest.
point, but
That's been their
I,
Jimmy and Spo have been their two biggest advantages to this point.
I I totally agree with you. I tried to disagree with you for a second, but I totally agree with you. I was gonna mention, their shooting because you know they've been playing well and shooting the ball well and scoring well offensively, but game one we didn't come out and shoot a great shot, right? Like we were missing shots, and it was a lot of what you said. Speaking of Spo, so yeah, I definitely don't see Tibbs out coaching Spo, and I'm not saying it's nothing to do with Tibbs better or worse. Well, it has everything to do with him being better or worse, but it's not about like going at him. It's more so that Spo is just who he is, and this is what he does. He's a master class at being able to expose and find the kinks to make something that doesn't look appealing attractive.
And
So
and
big credit to Spo.
it's not to say that because they have Spo, I think Spo's the best coach in the league, and he's only won 2 championships in how many years he's been
No
coaching.
coach of the
So
years.
exactly, but so it's not to say like he's just because he's the best coach out there, he's gonna win. You know what I mean? But I think if you have the best player on the court and you have the best coach in the series, then
You
that's a
have your
good
fair chances.
formula.
Yeah, and so Tibbs was like one of the major key factors in the Knicks beating the Cavs, right? And he had a great series. And not to say he can't bring that to Miami, which I expect him to do so, going into game two and further on. But yeah, Eric Spoelstra is just a kind of a step ahead, if you will. Um, this is also the guy who Knicks fans were chanting to fire mid-season, right? Same guy. And to his credit, he's definitely made them feel a complete 180. Maybe not a complete, I don't want to just speak for them, but I'm sure he's definitely changed a lot of their opinions as far as what he's been able to do with, this rotation in this team. So shout out to Tibbs
Yeah.
on that. So Kev, Boston I didn't watch the game. I got home. I had a kind of busy day after work. I got home and I see Boston is up by one with 20 seconds left, and James Harden goes for his 45th point on a three-pointer over Horford, takes the lead, and from there it hits the dagger basically. Did you watch more of the game than I did? Anything you can speak to?
I was in and out of it. I didn't watch the entire like in its entirety, but I watched a good portion of it, I would say. To me, you want me to talk about it? To
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
the
yeah. I was saying,
okay,
can you speak to it?
yeah, yeah. No, so to me, I mean, Philly won because James Harden went back to like E said before you came on. It was Houston James Harden tonight,
Yeah.
Right.
and I mean Houston James Harden was getting them two wins in a series by himself. So I mean, if James Harden is shooting the way he shot, they also got help from Melton. Melton was big today,
Right.
shooting the ball, especially in the first half, kept them in it. But yeah, James Harden was just vintage James Harden tonight.
Somebody in the group chat actually spoke to that James Harden Houston comment. They were like, "Yo, I think he's gonna go off Houston James Harden tonight," and I thumbs downed it. And I was like, "Eh, I don't think so." Game
Hey,
one
you know
on
what's
the road in Boston.
sorry to cut you off, but what's funny about that is that I saw a lot of people in the gambling community today saying James Harden under 27 points, James Harden under tonight. And I think he might have heard all of those sentiments because that boy came out and played a clinic today, man.
Yeah, that was it's Houston James Harden. That's really all it was. At the end of the day, I mean, he couldn't miss and hit the game winner. So
Did PJ Tucker go back to PJ Houston PJ Tucker, or am I dragging it?
no, PJ's PJ. I I I think PJ does things that you need from that position.
Hey, shout out to Brandon. He said it's like some people forget Harden was a 3-time scoring champ. Also, the spread was wide as fuck for no reason. And he said I definitely told people to take the over. Yeah, it's facts. And then Mike Lee said he's also not consistent. That is true. I mean,
I was gonna
I
say I
feel
don't
like
think. No, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say I feel like James Harden knows he can bring it when he needs to, and he doesn't have to be that 45-point guy on this team. He's put up 26 and 13 all season. That's good enough for me, you know. And all-star talk. You could call him a snub, you know. If you want to call Jalen Brunson a snub, you can call James Harden a snub as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shout out to
and
my young boy Brandon in the chat.
Fact,
Real
shout
talk.
out to him.
I don't think people forgot that James Harden is a three-time scoring champion. He hasn't been that guy since he left Houston. So
Yeah, he's battled injuries his time in Brooklyn and then his time in Philly as well.
Injuries and narratives.
that was injuries.
Well, look, we're gonna switch. We're gonna switch real quick. I just want to throw a quick shout out to the Florida Panthers. Game 7, biggest comeback in NHL history, down 3-1 versus the Boston Bruins. 65-win Boston Bruins. Um, President's Cup curse. Word to E. President's Cup curse. Word to E. Um,
That building has seen better days.
Yo.
They might need Kyrie to come and sage that place again or something.
that shit is crazy. And back-to-back nights, they take a Game 7 L, then a Game 1 L to Philly. James Harden show. And who scored the? It was Connor Verhage, right? It was Verhage with the game winner.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Verhage, man.
Shout out to
He
that
often
boy.
fades. Mike. I'm trying to make sure I see it. I think it's McKeel 3000. He said he often fades away during the playoffs. And he has a 2-game expiration date in all playoffs. I mean, it's fair. You can't argue the fact that James Harden doesn't play as good as he does in the regular season in the playoffs. But he is an MVP, and the year that he did win it, I believe Chris Paul getting hurt messed all his chances up at being a Finals champion. So it is what it is. But shout out to
It's
James
wide open
Harden.
this year, though. In my opinion, I think
Sure
you
is.
look
The
at all
Lakers
8
have a chance.
teams. I was gonna say, I think you look at all 8 teams, and you could make a realistic case for all 8 teams who are still in it, which I don't think you could have said for the past I don't know how many years.
Yeah, I like that take. Hold on, because in the West, I thought about it. That's true. In the East, Boston, Philly, Miami, New York. Yeah, I mean, as far as how everybody has been playing so far and on both wins and losses and being beatable and looking great, it's like the only okay, so let's look at this. In these playoffs, up until this point, the Heat got blown out in game 2.
Yeah, the Knicks got blown out in game 2.
The Knicks got blown out in game 2 and dominated every other game since and like played good. And that's what the Heat have done as well. Not the Heat didn't dominate every game since because we game 4
They
where
come
Jimmy
back
dropped. I mean
50,
game 3
yeah.
when Jimmy dropped. Yeah, 4 when he dropped 56. They definitely had a good comeback, but they haven't had a game outside of game 2 that they look like, okay, yeah, you can kill this team, like Memphis. You know what I mean? They got knocked out and they got killed, and the Lakers also got killed twice, I believe. Did they get killed once or twice? No, they beat them in 5. They just got killed once, right?
No, they beat him
No,
in
they beat
six.
them in
Beat 'em in
But
they beat them in
6.
6 because they couldn't close out. Um,
yeah, I
and it
think they
was
got
bad.
killed game 2. I think game 5 wasn't as bad as 2. I don't remember though, because game 2 was the one
No, I
Dylan
think
Brooks
it
beat
was.
the
I think it
Portland Bears out.
was. Yeah, but I think the loss was pretty bad.
Oh, you're right. You're right. It was close in the first half, and then they started to
Yeah,
pull away in
yeah.
second half. Yeah.
The Suns. I mean, these Nuggets. The Nuggets haven't looked like they're just some beatable team yet. Like they got beat one game, right? The Timberwolves won one game, or did they sweep? I'm tripping.
2 games.
2
I
games.
believe they won 2.
Shit, they went to 6.
Am I
Okay,
right?
am I?
No, I think they went to 5.
Yes, they did. They went to 5. They went to
It was
5.
5. It
Okay,
was
okay,
5. It
okay.
Because
was
then Anthony
5.
Edwards with the
Yeah,
Yeah,
chance.
'cause
it
I'm
was
like,
the
yo, I don't
game
even
Anthony
remember.
Edwards was like, "Don't worry, we're not out." It was
Yeah,
3-0, and it was,
yeah.
"Don't worry, we're still in this." And he
Facts.
came back and won by like 1 point, and then we know what happened.
Facts. So that's funny. So he said Knicks and Heat definitely have the lowest odds. Heat offense in those desperation games are give Jimmy the ball and get out the way. Brandon said that. That's a great point. Knicks and the Heat have the lowest odds. The Heat offense can be abysmal at times, and we've seen that all throughout the season. You know
But also,
what's
the
up?
Heat's offense was that last year in the playoffs, and they got a shot within the finals.
Right. Well, so I think to that point, we were that all season, but in this playoffs, we're like one of the best offenses. You know what I mean? And we flipped
Right.
the switch completely. So it's like I do agree that Jimmy needs to be there and he needs to get us in and out of tough situations, but we're knocking shit down too, and Bam's gonna have to step up in this game here. Bam's gonna have to show like, yo, when we needed you in the regular season, you were able to do it. You had your flashes of really good games, and we need one of those nights tonight. It's not Brook Lopez down there. I know it's Mitchell Robinson, but it's not Brook Lopez.
I think Bam was really good in terms of keeping Mitchell Robinson off of the offensive rebounds.
Yeah, he was
Like if you
boxing him
if
out
you
and putting a body on him for sure. And then he had 14 rebounds, and somebody in the Knicks Twitter space jumped at me like, I was like, he did a good job of like containing Mitchell Robinson, and he was just like, 14 rebounds. I'm like, bro, first of all, I mean, 14 rebounds is good. It's not elite. You know what I'm saying? Like you do that one time, it's not elite. Like 14,
well, he had
14 a game. Yeah, I get it, but
he had 12 box outs also, Bam, which was most in the game. I mean, you're
yeah,
not going to stop a guy that big from getting rebounds, especially getting defensive rebounds, but it's a matter of
exactly.
keeping them from getting those second chance opportunities and those second chance points, which he boxed out and
It's like
trusted his
if
teammates to
Steph
get the
Curry would have
rebounds.
dropped 35 and had a close game versus the Kings, or how he dropped 51 on the 50 on their ass and showed them. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
it just is different. It's a different impact. So shout out to Bam, but we need him offensively tomorrow. Like
Yeah.
that's case in
Especially if
point.
Jimmy's out.
Oh, it's Rodney. Okay, shout out to Rodney, my boy. Shout out to my boy. What I wanted to find the other what he said, the other shit he said. Hold up. Fucking with the chat. Let me see that.
Are there any Knicks fans in the chat?
I don't believe so. I don't believe so
Okay.
right now.
Because I had
But
I said it on Twitter, but we say it on the podcast too.
talk that shit, man.
Because the fact, yeah, I'm just gonna just real quick. I've been very civil, but it's the Knicks, and it's fuck the Knicks always. So the fact that the Heat are supposed to be intimidated by Madison Square Garden like it's some fucking magical arena, get the fuck out of
Mm.
here. We have more banners hanging in whatever the fuck they call it now. We don't even know what the fucking name is, and we still got more banners hanging there than they do in MSG. So we
Listen,
can
hey,
we can
listen.
stop
I
with
hear you.
the
I hear
illusion
you.
that this is some
It's
some
not, but
great
it's not called the Mecca
basketball
of
arena.
basketball for no reason, bud.
it ain't this team
like
that did it.
they don't call it the Coliseum in Rome for
I
no
get it.
reason. You know, it's
Listen,
called the
I'll never
Mecca of
question.
basketball.
I'll never question New York fandom, and I'm sure the atmosphere in there is great. But bro, we've seen 3 titles in this building. It's you know what I mean.
Whatever you want to call it, I feel that. And you could call it the Cassia Center, you could call it AAA, you could call it FTX, you could call it crypto, you could call it whatever the fuck you want to call it. That's where championships have been won. So, um, and in recent memory,
Right.
let's remember that.
Not 50 years ago.
So yeah, I get what you're saying, E. I do have respect for
You gotta have respect
I
for the Mecca.
I
of
do have
basketball.
respect for the Mecca of
I'm
basketball
not
in
saying
Madison Square
I'm not
Garden
saying
as
that you
it's
guys have
hold
to
on
be
as it's one of the
intimidated by it or
as it's
anything
one of
like
the
that.
best hosts to many
Yeah,
boxing
absolutely.
great boxing fights, amazing events that they put on. Drake, Jay-Z sellouts, Nas, um, he'll be here this summer as well, Drake. So like I get it, you know, they definitely have a great venue that attracts a lot of people from around the world and great artists and talented um people. But and even other basketball teams like, you know, the Warriors when they traveled there in 2017, like that's a show, you know. I get it. But as far as
And,
what the Knicks have done for that arena,
and it's
not
also like
much.
I mean Jordan
Trey
used to
Young got
double
a lot of rent money collected over there. I'm not gonna lie.
bro. I mean Trey Young was taking bows at center court. You got Jordan dropping 55. You got what else happened? Steph Curry broke the record, the 3-point record there. What's the common denominator? This is all
Listen, I'll tell
the
you this.
opponent.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. The Heat just beat the Knicks, and they're still chanting "fuck Trey Young."
Come on,
So you
let's go Heat.
I mean, you know, we're indifferent here, but that's fair. That's fair. Geo in the chat, man. Shout out to my man Geo. Shout out to Geo. Yo, we live. Yes, sir, we live. Let me catch up on these comments real quick. Ronnie said, Sally the Heat are definitely underdog. And then Brandon said Nixon. Okay, I read that. So Rodney said the 3-pointers get underlooked due to the defense and offensive play by Jimmy. I agree. We are knocking down shots. And people want to say like Jimmy has to do everything, but shit, if this team is knocking down shots the way they are, bro, the sky's the limit. He said my fear is the help with Mitchell that Mitchell will get from Randall, which is true. Randall's definitely going to go off to impact things. Yeah, he is, but Randall shitted in the Cavs series. He really didn't show up. And yeah, I'm not saying he's supposed to do it again, but he wasn't supposed to do it at all. So let's see what Randall they're going to get, who's not 100%, who is maybe a little in his head. He's one of those players that gets in his head, and he's going to have to show up if he doesn't play game 2 in Miami on the road, you know? So
And Obi Toppin also didn't have a bad game. I mean, he shot the
no,
ball very well
he
too.
had a really good game, I'll say.
So I mean,
I think he had a
yeah,
really good game.
they didn't have Randall, but Obi stepped up and gave
Yeah.
you like great production. So
I think there was a couple shots that Obi didn't have to take. You know, obviously he was feeling it and he was having a good game. They were going down earlier, so it's fair to shoot the shot, but you know, it's frustrating when they're hitting and then they don't. So
yeah,
Warriors by far the best recent championship runs. I'm not disagreeing with that. Um, it's a good stage, just not for the Knicks. I don't disagree with that. And G said, and we're gonna keep beating the Knicks. We're gonna keep beating the Knickerbockers. Shout out to ATS Pod. Hey, are we accepting Bam injury as an excuse for his performance? Any legitimacy behind that injury to y'all knowledge? Shout out to Gio, man. Look, as far as the Bam hamstring thing, listen, he'll be all right. That we're not a team that when a player has a lingering injury, we're gonna just seep into look at like, all right, obviously Tyler Hero's out, Vic is out, and now Jimmy has a fucking sprained ankle, which is looking like a grade 3, grade 2. But whatever it is, I mean, hey, we gotta do what we gotta do at the end of the day. And do I wish it didn't happen that way? Yeah, but that's how I feel. I don't know how you feel, Kev.
I mean, yeah, Bam. Whether it's, I mean, I'm sure playing with a hamstring is not comfortable, but and if Jimmy is out tomorrow, he's definitely going to be asked to do a lot more offensively. And I think that'll show us where he is because I think in game one they didn't ask him to do a lot offensively. His job was make sure Mitchell Robinson stays off the offensive glass. Um, so it'll be interesting if Jimmy's out to see what they do because I do think he'll need to take on more of the offensive load, and that means he can't be battling down there with Mitchell Robinson the entire game.
Yeah.
If he's gonna be, playing, have a high usage on offense. So, um,
So Rodney asked, "Do you guys think we can win without Jimmy at home tomorrow? Who will have to take over?" Bam, definitely not the answer. So we're on the road tomorrow. It's game 2, and do I think we can win? I do think we can win without Jimmy. Like I'm not crazy for saying that. Do I like? Is it? Do I feel comfortable with it? Do I feel like super confident about it? No. But I think this Knicks team has showed that they're beatable, and this Heat team has showed that they have overcome a lot of adversity so far and have flipped the script on who they are. So there's a chance for sure. There is a chance. But I mean, this is the Knicks want to tie this series up. Here's their fucking chance. I'll tell you that.
yeah,
So
and I mean they're gonna come out swinging tomorrow. The Knicks, like I don't think the Heat expect anything less than the Knicks' best shot tomorrow. But if Jimmy is out, just to answer the question, I think it's got to be Gabe again. But because he's been the one who's shown up consistently throughout the playoffs. So
what I will say is shout out to Caleb Martin. Like
yeah,
right now, we'll all run through a brick wall for him. And that Josh Hart impact that the Knicks feel that he's having on their team, which he is, and I'm not downplaying it. I just said Josh Hart like that because he flopped and now Jimmy's hurt, so it's annoying. I do fuck with Josh Hart and I like his game, but I mean, right now that's crazy. So that impact that he's having, Caleb Martin is bringing that to the Miami Heat. If not more, whatever the case may be. Now, as long as he continues to do what he's doing, hitting the shots when he can, getting quality layups and key baskets, and then playing defense, right? Like he's not, I know you were talking about offense, so you didn't necessarily bring him up, but just in general, defensively, he's been amazing all playoffs. And even just toward the end of the regular season, getting benched for Love and finding his way back into the rotation, this, that, and the third. So shout out to Caleb Martin for sure.
also one other thing, I want to call it, but I'm gonna say we'll see. But he went 0 for 5 from 3 in game 1. And the way he's been coming around shooting the basketball, knowing more of a he's got more of a solidified role. I don't expect Duncan to be 0 for 5 tomorrow from 3.
So what were you gonna call?
It'll be
That's what you're calling? You don't think he's gonna go for 5? You could call that.
No, I was
not gonna miss a
call
3-pointer tomorrow.
I was gonna call the 20-point game for Duncan tomorrow.
That's what I wanted you to say it. I'm trying to enable you, my friend. We need to speak this shit to existence. That's the key. Fuck what if you sound crazy, if you're shit talking, speak what you feel into existence. All right. Duncan will go for 20. I gave him his props. I seen him today. I let him know we appreciate him. Keep shooting that bitch. And it's gonna drop. And little things like that I think help. I think they help. So
and one last person who I think could make a big difference. 2 people who I think could make a big difference. Kyle Lowry and Kevin Love. Just their veteran presence.
Well, who did make a big difference? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean if Jimmy's out
in game, right? And
they're gonna need
what was
them
great
to
is
step
that
up again.
yeah, they played great even though Jimmy was there. So it's just a major credit to everybody, doing their job. And Strus isn't gonna struggle as much, I don't believe, on offense as well. Like I don't think we're gonna see the heat of the regular season where everybody was just struggling to find the bottom of the net because we've hit shots, we've hit tough shots, we've hit big shots, we've hit open shots all playoffs. So I definitely don't see that slump going for Duncan or Strus. Now, I also, on the flip side, know that Jalen Brunson's not going to go 0 for 7 from 3 himself. You know what I'm saying? I expect him to play way better. I expect him to get a lot of what he wants. Not everything. I expect him to get a lot of what he wants. I think the refs are going to be a little more ticky-tacky for them not more for them, but I guess fans thought that they weren't enough for them. I think we'll see more of it for them. Um, but it's gonna be quite the matchup tomorrow. I loved what Caleb Martin said, where he was like, "We have to play like we're down 0-3." That's the mentality right there.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Heat. We've been on this Heat talk for a minute. I want to kind of switch the flow up a little bit. I don't know if you have any thoughts on Suns Nuggets. It looks like the Nuggets are going to take care of their home court advantage. It also looks like they have too much for the Suns to kind of manage on defense, and they're just kind of out hustling them. So I don't know if I'm seeing it differently. It was just a one game thing. Kevin Durant had a good game, but it wasn't enough. Jamal Murray went crazy, specifically in the second half. What you guys got in that series?
Still got
I like
Nuggets.
you have Denver,
I still got
and how
Nuggets
many
in
games?
6 or 7. So it's gonna be a long series. Um, Live up there right now. Suns up by 3, 21-18. Top of the second quarter right now. But yeah, excuse me. I got Suns. I got Suns. Sorry, I got Nuggets in 6 or 7.
I like the Suns at 6, but I love KD, so I'm a little biased.
Yeah, I
Um,
think I think the Suns end up pulling away with the series eventually. Like Denver to me just hasn't proven it. So if this is the year they prove it and I'm wrong about it, cool. But I haven't seen enough from Denver in the playoffs to where I'm like, okay, this team is a Western Conference Finals bound team that can really win a championship. And this year is the year to do it because as we spoke to it earlier, it's open and every team in the playoffs has that chance. But as they said, the Knicks and the Heat have the lowest chances. Denver might be right there with them just because of what we've seen in the past. And hey, are they playing better? You could argue that, but I still need to see it against the best at the biggest moments from the MVP. So Suns in 7.
I like it.
We got some comments I wanted to read off. They were saying KD only dropped 25. I think he had like 25 and 11 or 25 and 16 or some shit like that.
yeah, 20.
And
I thought it was
you shouldn't
29. I think it was 29 and
should
11 he had.
you shouldn't have to go off for 35 points just to beat the Nuggets every game. So I mean, it's not like he didn't play bad. He had a couple turnovers that weren't too great, but um I like the Suns today. I think the Suns got to steal one. I did start saying it looks like the Nuggets are going to take care of home court, but
I like
I
this
do
trend
think
that
the
we're
Suns
seeing with away teams winning game twos. I feel like growing up when we would watch it, there would always be long series and it'd always be like home team wins the first two.
home team
You
wins.
know, yeah, the second two, maybe the lesser seed drops one of their home games because that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. But I feel like for the most part, you would always see the first two games go, in the home team's favor. So I like this trend that we're seeing in the last like couple years. To be honest, makes it
Yeah,
look a
I
little more
agree.
competitive.
Also, I said this 3 days ago in my group chat when I thought the Lakers and Warriors were both about to clinch in 6, but it ended up happening yesterday. But or yesterday, Sunday, whenever it was. Uh, Yesterday was Sunday, so yesterday. The the seed all the seeds left. There's 1 through 8. So there's
Oh, I did see that representing the
the one
semifinals.
seed
Yeah, we got
Nuggets. Yeah. So I thought that was
all
pretty
the way to
cool.
the 8th seed Heat.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure
It's lit.
I don't know, but being that only 6 other times an 8 seed has beat a 1 seed, I'm pretty sure that this is the only time we've had 1 through 8 numerically left in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think this is the first time in history they said that. Shout
Wow.
out to by the way, shout out to Snoop Dogg, bro. Snoop Dogg's always in the news and it's always some cool shit, whether it be WWE or some new weed strain, but he's joining Nico Sparks uh, in a bid to buy the Ottawa Senators.
I think Ryan
Saw that.
Reynolds is a part of that group too.
Just fire.
Deadpool.
So shout out to Snoop. Um, I want
Unless
to talk
there's like a
about the
bidding
NFL
war for
draft.
it right now, that'd be crazy.
we got another NBA game we didn't talk about. Oh, the Lakers and the Warriors. That's kind of the new matchup. Um, that'll go. But oh, it was the Kings. No, yeah. It's the Lakers and the Warriors. Suns, Nuggets, Boston, Philly, and then what's the other one?
Heat Knicks.
Heat Knicks.
Philly next. All right, cool. So we're good. Let's go to the NFL draft, guys. It was a good basketball talk. I do want to talk a lot of football. I'm super excited, super excited. I know Kev and I share like this similar anxiety and joy for this new football season. Where in different positions though, because as a Jets fan, Kev, um, he has one of the best to ever do it now in his college number, wearing number 8 out there in New York or in New Jersey, representing New York for the Jets with Garrett going into his second year, Garrett Wilson. Um, you guys, who did you draft? Who did you draft with your first round pick? Oh,
Line,
tackle, right? Lineman,
no,
right?
edge rusher from Iowa State. Will McDonald.
Will McDonald. Yeah.
We
Okay.
were
How do you
going
feel
to
about that?
draft.
They said it was a reach.
I mean, I think you got to get after the quarterback, and I don't think you can ever have enough pass rushers.
That's
So
true. That's true.
he ran a 4.40 and said that he feels he could have went faster. So I mean, if you get an edge rusher who's that fast, they I believe their pick the pick they wanted to go was the pick that Pittsburgh traded up to get right before him.
Oh, right.
The lineman from
New England traded Pittsburgh the pick and was
yes,
like, "Yeah, take him,
yeah.
take him." So the
So
Jets don't get him. It was old Bill
that's
Belichick,
yeah. So
old
that's
Bobby
why the
Kraft,
Jets had to pivot, I guess.
and
But
they reached because the Colts got a guy who runs like a 4.4. He's a defensive edge, and he looks the part in I think the 4th round. So I mean, hey, Will McDonald has a farm. I mean, no, I'm just kidding. Will McDonald has a potential to be a really good pass rusher. We're gonna have to find out and see because you guys did get a high pick, and you who was on the board? There were some other options on the board still.
well, I believe Jackson Smith and Jigba was on the board. Um, but our wide receiver room is also like
No, I didn't think you guys had to go Jackson wide receiver because that you don't need that. You don't also want 4 or 5 people fighting for the spot. And with Aaron Rodgers, you guys are going to be fine. Lazard's there. You guys got Garrett Wilson. You guys signed McCole Hardman. So like
yeah.
you should be fine.
The
But
pick that I'm most excited for, though, and I think Aaron Rodgers probably would agree, is Zach Kuntz or Jack Kuntz, tight end. He's like 6'7", something massive, and runs like a 4.5 40. So I'm excited to see what he looks
Okay.
like.
that was a
I believe that
7th
was our
round
last
pick.
pick. Yeah.
Yeah, 7th round pick from Arizona via Las Vegas. Tight end Old Dominion, 6'7", 4.5
Yeah.
in the 40. I mean, you got to be excited when you got an athlete. That's the thing. So the Colts, we drafted. I was mentioning we're in a similar situation, and we dove into why we feel that you are different excited than me because you guys have a chance to really compete for the AFC this year. You feel with a guy like Rodgers at the helm and a division that's kind of open. When you think about it, the Dolphins could have won that division last year, and if you guys maybe didn't have some health concerns that you did have, it could have been a little better for you. But this is a year that you could really look at the AFC East like, wow, this is winnable. Um, so that's exciting. But the Colts, on the other hand, we went into the draft looking for a future, right? We need a quarterback. It's been 5 years. Everybody knows the story. I talk about it all the time. We need a future, and we got the future. And the Anthony Richardson era in Indianapolis, it is underway. Um, I'm super excited that we got who we presume to be our franchise guy in a physical specimen. Like this athlete here is just never before seen as far as this quarterback position is concerned. And I heard an analogy, I think it was Bucky Brooks talking to he was talking about how Anthony Richardson can be like the Giannis Antetokounmpo of the NFL, where we've just never seen something like this before. And at the size, at the stature, with the athleticism, putting it together with fundamentals and IQ, it can make for amazing things. It can go either of both ways, and that's what happens when you draft a rookie quarterback. You never know. Zach Wilson, number two. You know what I'm saying? And that didn't work out. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers getting traded over there, but at the same
Gonna
time,
keep
you got to
bringing
take the
Zach
risk.
Wilson.
You got to take the risk, and we did that. My most exciting moment was definitely Anthony Richardson, who I'm extremely excited to see. Other, outside of that is Josh Downs, North Carolina. As a Hurricanes fan, you and I know him well, and we've watched him torch Miami and other ACC teams year in and year out. The fact that he was on the board, um, I want to say it was our third round pick. Um, Man, like I didn't think he'd be there. So and yeah, you have your Jordan Addison and you have your Jackson Smith and Jigba and guys like that. But when you talk about a burner, track speed, and you talk about separation skills being, you know, I don't want to use names. The comparisons is crazy, but there's only a few guys in the league that can get away from somebody in just split second with a twitch. You know what I mean? And you guys know those people, so you can kind of compare it to that, and think about the hands, the composure, the personality of the kid. It looks like it's going to shape out to be a match made in heaven with 6'4" Michael Pittman, 6'4" Alec Pierce on the outside, and you got somebody like him on the inside. Um, I'm excited to see it. And we also signed Isaiah McKenzie, so that was cool.
Are you? Would you like him to take a backup role this year, or you want to throw him into the fire?
Play. I mean, bro, you have 13 career starts at Florida. Um,
That's
we
not a
don't
lot.
know. We haven't seen it. It's nothing. It's
Yeah,
nothing. And
it's one
he's
game,
not going to learn NFL speed. He's not going to learn how to read defenses literally until he puts that shoe on and steps in the fire. And he's going to make mistakes, bro. He's a rookie quarterback. He's a 13 career start college quarterback who has maximum potential and tremendous work ethic. Um, and a humble coachable mentality. I mean, that's like match made in heaven for a guy who's coming into a system that was previously run with Jalen Hurts and developed with Jalen Hurts. And before this quarterback coach, Shane Steichen, well, our quarterback coach is Cam Turner, who was the quarterback coach over there with Kyler Murray in Arizona, who's another mobile quarterback who can throw the ball. Our head coach is a quarterback guru who helped develop in the second year that he was there, Jalen Hurts, which was last year, ran the whole playbook, called the plays, and before that, he was developing Justin Herbert, who was a way more polished, quarterback coming into the league. But at the same time, I mean, we look at what Justin Herbert is now in the league, and it's elite. So I'm more than confident that our head coach can get Anthony Richardson slowly but surely where he needs to be. So it's just exciting to know that we have a organization behind him that's willing to wait and willing to do the right thing. And it sounds like, from what I'm hearing, he if he doesn't do anything to fuck the job up, he's gonna be our week one starter.
Have you got who else? What other quarterback is on the roster?
Gardner Minshew, who played with Philly and Shane Steichen last year. It wasn't promising. He played decent in the Dallas game, and then he played bad in another game when he started when Jalen Hurts went down. So it's a stopgap. It's just one of those things where it's the character of the man. It's the knowledge he has of the game and how he can help in a quarterback room setting teach a young rookie who wants to be here. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things that makes sense. So shout out to Gardner Minshew. I think he has a crucial role here in Indy, along with our quarterbacks coach Cam Turner, head coach Shane Steichen, offensive coordinator, and also general manager Chris Ballard being patient with them. So the Colts drafted athletes. If you look at their like athletic grade, everybody's in like 80, 90%. We drafted Julius Brents, cornerback out of K State, and he was a Big 12 championship winner. He locked up Quentin Johnston at times in that game, and his wingspan is his arms are going past his knees. You know what I'm saying? At a 6'2", likes to hit. So you gotta love what we've gotten, and we've tried to put a step forward because we addressed areas that we needed, and everybody's giving us an A+ grade. So I'll be happy with that. Did you guys have any other standout thoughts about the draft, just generally?
I mean, nothing that stands out. I think everybody thinks Philly had a great draft. They had a great draft weekend, getting DeAndre Swift, and then their first round was, I think, clearly better than everybody else, um, just for who they got and where they got him.
Yep.
Um,
I mean,
so
Jalen Carter at fucking, what was it, 10? 9. They
or
traded up
nine,
to 9,
yeah,
right? They
nine, yeah.
traded up to 9. That's insane, bro.
I
Jalen
was the way
Carter.
he started falling. I was sitting there hoping he was there at 15.
And you have to. Like, I mean, listen, you guys want to pass on him. He does have a story, and there is that character flaw, or I don't even want to go with character flaw. I don't know him. I don't know him personally, and I'm not the one to evaluate that or say. Obviously, I only know as much as I'm told and what I speculate from that. But at the end of the day, bro, the dude is arguably the best player in the draft, and somebody who's a young man, bro, like young person. You act like we're imagine at our age when he's a 28-year-old vet in this league. What has he done? How many Super Bowls did he win? A Defensive Player of the Year award, and did he change as a man? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure he will. So
Yeah.
shout out to Jalen Carter. I wanted to ask you guys two questions about that. First, about the top 10. My first one is, do you like what Houston did with the trade and getting CJ Stroud and Will Anderson, giving up some capital? Kev?
Yeah, Kev.
Oh, okay. I they gave up next year's first two, right? You got to know you're going to be good this year. Like, there's no way you can give up next year's pick and be bad again, because then it's like, what are you doing now? So you just
Yeah,
you
it's kind
have.
of like I always
I
say,
mean,
we're in a win now league. Like you got to do it now. The windows are small and they're closing fast for anyone that even has a window right now.
Well, all right. If I can, let's be fucking for real. It's Houston, right? And Houston isn't going to be good for some time. Like, they're going through a new head coach situation who I believe has a bright future over there. They just got a quarterback. So what they did, all right, cool. But where they are and all the holes in the roster that they have, like, it's not like they're gonna win now. They're not
right,
gonna win in the next 5 years.
and
So
that's a win now move.
I don't agree. So how I feel is like, you gave up your first round next year. I don't think Houston's gonna be the worst team in the league. I don't think Houston has the number 1 pick overall next year.
But
I would
even if
hope
it's top
CJ
five,
Stroud.
Ooh,
It will be top 5, but I just hope CJ Stroud does not go through a season of where he's a number 1 pick. But you mentioned it as a Jets fan. Everybody needs a pass rusher. I said Jalen Carter was arguably the best player in this draft. The argument is Will Anderson. And Will Anderson, being able to get him at 3 as a top 2 player in this draft, whether he's a top 3 player, if you want to say Bryce Young is that guy, which that sounded weird. I do think Bryce Young is that guy, but like, as far as top 2, Will Anderson has an argument for top 2, and the Texans traded next year's pick for, they don't know what they're going to get. You want Marvin Harrison next year or Caleb Williams. They got their quarterback already, and I'm sure they're not going to just want to fall in love with Caleb Williams after CJ. I don't think CJ Stroud is going to be a bust, and I don't think you should treat him bad after a struggle year. So we're looking at, they have their quarterback for the future. Now they went and got a cornerstone pass rusher. Are there other holes they could have addressed? Could they have kept that first round pick for next year? Yes. But outside of Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison, and then like a Brock Bowers, I don't. It's way too early because we're going to see players next year that ball out and we're like, yo, that's a top 5 pick right there. You need him. So I don't want to do that. But at the same time, you know what Will Anderson is right now, what he can bring to your franchise. So like, I like the risky, like we haven't done something like this before. Like, let's get after it. Let's try to bring these dogs in right now, while we know. Like I think that the first year this year, the first round this year, you're getting more value than what you would get you'll get more value with Will Anderson than what you'll get next year with your first round pick.
That's fair.
It's my argument, not a fact. I'm just saying, like, that's my argument.
Yeah, I mean, I think that CJ Stroud would be very happy if you bring Marvin Harrison
course.
and let him play with him next
course.
year. But now
Or
that
even
option
Brock Bowers. Yeah, but I don't know if D'Amico Ryans would be as happy if he's got nobody getting no pressure or changing the temperature in the room on defense over there. And he's a defensive coach, so like D'Amico got his guy. They got John Mechie over there. They drafted another young wide receiver over there in Houston. What's his name? Fuck.
In Houston?
I know they got John Mechie and they got somebody else, but receiver, you're gonna find
they
somebody.
Signed Robert
You're
Woods.
gonna find somebody. That's a stopgap, but fair. To your point, he's an NFL vet, and that's fair. Like CJ is gonna be fine with some of the guys they got. Like you're not gonna be fine with not having a Will Anderson type guy on your team if you had the opportunity to.
He could have been a stopgap for Marvin Harrison Jr., but that's out the window.
I think Marvin Harrison Jr. I think Will Anderson does more for the franchise than Marvin Harrison Jr. But I still think that neither of them are going to truly impact winning in Houston because it's Houston, and the GM is the GM and the owner's still the owner. So they got to figure some other stuff out. Plus, you look at it now. Don't look now, but Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence is coming into his own, and Indianapolis still has quality pieces on that team. With we don't know at quarterback. It's a big we don't know. Will Levis. That wasn't the top 10 pick that I wanted to transition to because it wasn't a top 10 pick. We thought he'd be a top 10 pick. He was a second round pick. So we'll talk about him in round 2 of the draft talk. In round 1 of the draft talk, in top 10, I wanted to ask you to start with EP. What do you guys feel about the Falcons at number 8 drafting Bijan Robinson? Running back out of Texas. Yeah.
I love Bijan Robinson. I will preface this with that. I hate that pick for Atlanta.
Can I say this real quick?
For Atlanta.
Can I say this real quick, Kev? Because I'm gonna let you finish. Yeah. I love Kyle Pitts, but I hate that pick for Atlanta.
Exactly. I mean that's it. Like that's what
are we doing, bro?
Positions you draft.
What are we doing, bro?
When you have a quarterback, like that's what Aaron Rodgers has been like wishing the Packers would do for 18 years was like draft a tight end like that or a running back like that or in the first round. But like the Falcons don't have that guy or at least a proven guy. Like you gotta they have so many other needs.
Has there been a running back that's been drafted in the first round? It's been successful in like the last.
What up, Jay?
I mean, Zeke was good. Zeke was elite for
2 years.
A couple. I'd say 4 years. I would say 4 years. He was very good. He was a top
elite
back
for 4 years is a stretch.
Top 5 back for 4 years.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty elite if you're top 5.
I'd say he's
from
teetering.
16, 17, 18,
I'd say
19?
In that fourth year, he was teetering at 6.
Fair enough.
But, I mean, that's it. But running back is also, that's all you're going to get, really. Unless you have a...
Look at the Giants with Saquon, you know what I mean?
That's true.
Type of deal.
Yeah.
And they haven't reached their peak as far as what they can be. They're getting to that point of like, oh shit, this Giants team. And now they had to sign Saquon. You know what I mean? Like you have to spend that money on them where it's like, that money could have went elsewhere. And not to say Saquon wasn't a big part of this, but at the same time, well, he was a great part of this season for sure. But as far as just building to get to this point, a lot of injuries throughout that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of things that were unnecessary as far as that number 3 pick in 2018. But you gotta, you fall in love with the specimen, you fall in love with the athlete, with what you see on tape, and it's hard as a GM to like be John Robinson, bro. Like, come on, you get a chance at that to bring that to your city and put that in front of your fans. That's gonna sell tickets. Of course it is. People are gonna buy jerseys. Of course they are. But are we gonna see Desmond Ritter lead that team to an NFC South championship soon? In a wide open NFC South?
I mean, we've seen crazier
Yeah, no,
things. I
think
think.
about it. I mean, so Carolina just
Saints.
drafted Bryce
The
Young.
Saints. The Saints would be the
Got
team.
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Michael Thomas, Kamara, DeMarco Davis. What's his name? Demario Davis.
Yeah.
Tyron Matthews over there, right? Juice Landry,
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Callaway.
I think Juice
You got
might
some
be a
guys
free
over
agent
there.
still.
Who's that?
I think Jarvis might still be a free agent right now.
He might. Yeah. He might be. So I mean, that's definitely the favorite. You know what I mean? Definitely the favorite. I do want to, since we're talking about the NFC South, just put out condolences to Shaquille Barrett's family in general. You know what I mean? Everybody that's involved in that situation, just prayers out to you, and you know, nothing much else to say, but definitely heartfelt, tough situation. Um, yeah, as we move on to the second round, we see guys like Will Levis get picked up there, right? See a guy like Will Levis get picked up there by the Titans, who trade up to like the second pick of the second round, and
Serial killer.
now they've got Malik Willis, Ryan Tannehill, and Mr. Mayonnaise in his coffee. Supposedly that's false. He came out and was like, I don't know where they got that from, but that's false.
He's on
So
video.
I'll give him that. That's true. Maybe it was AI, Kev.
I don't know, bro. There's a video of him putting mayo in his coffee, and there's a video of him eating bananas with peels on them.
Whoa.
He's a serial killer. Yeah, no.
He said with
crazy.
peels on him. It's so funny because it's a banana peel because you peeled it off the banana, but it's the skin of the banana, which is what was on. That's funny. It's just funny. Sorry.
Whatever. It's true.
He's got peels on the bananas and he's eating them.
The peels.
Bro, that's like the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, he wonders why he slipped to the second round. I tell him why.
And then say he
Mayo
wasn't
in your
gonna
coffee.
attend.
Nobody wants to be around that.
You
Every day.
go to a quarterback meeting in the morning and like you get your coffee. Everybody's like, "Fucking, let's go, man! Getting their coffee. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Ready for the meeting." And he's like going in the fridge for the fucking mayo.
Like, come on. Or like maybe he carries like packets around, so he can have it on the go.
He should get a helmet sponsorship. He should stop denying it and just get a helmet sponsorship. Nah, mayonnaise
know.
sponsorship is crazy. Stop.
Yo,
Stop. Hey,
fam.
yo. Mayonnaise sponsorship is crazy work.
Crazy.
Oh man.
Mayo on that beat. Hey. Hey, but do you guys think he's going to find success in Tennessee, or do you think he's just going to be one of those Josh Rosens, or not even so bad, but like a Malik Willis type of thing?
Malik Willis. Damn.
I can't say enough.
You're
about-
asking if they're gonna have success. If he's gonna have success in Tennessee, like you got to think about the question in itself.
in Tennessee.
I mean, Ryan Tannehill is not that guy, and he's also coming to the ending of his tenure. Like, let's be real. What is their future look like? We got to remember that this is a new GM going into the season for Tennessee, so it's kind of like, what does he want to do with this thing? You know?
Yeah, I mean,
And
there was
they
already reports of trading Derrick Henry in the offseason. So
They also saying that they're going to start Will Levis at quarterback 3, and it'll be Malik Willis at 2. To me, if you trade up in the second round for a quarterback and you're going to put him at number 3 on the depth chart, you got some fucking problems.
Yeah.
Especially if quarterback 2 numbers look the way they do. And look, what I'll say about this is no disrespect to Malik Willis, but if you Google his stats and see what he's done for the Titans so far, you wouldn't understand why Malik Willis is the second quarterback on the depth chart.
Well,
You would
Tannehill
understand
wouldn't
why a
mentor
team would
him,
trade up.
bro.
That's true. That's true. But he will mentor Will Levis. Let's get
Yo,
that
that would
goddamn
be
straight.
crazy. That would be
You know what's funny? On
crazy.
the ESPN broadcast, they were saying like he's going to a good spot. You know, Tannehill's a good guy and he's gonna do the right thing and be there for him and help him out. And in my head, I'm like, did we not? Are we gonna ignore the fact that he literally came out and said that's not his job? Like, isn't that the same guy? So I don't know. But it's like
That ain't white.
I think he's in a good situation. Tennessee is fraud. They're playoff fraud, right? Like they can play a regular season and do decent in the regular season and compete here and there, and they have players on defense. They also drafted a Traylon Burke and have a good running back, but I don't know. I'm not gonna root for him. I'll tell you that. I'll root for CJ Stroud though, just because I actually watched him in college a lot more. I fuck with Ohio State quarterbacks, and CJ Stroud, you know, he's more my speed. I'll say more of my
I
speed.
like that.
But the Titans, like Texans is little bro, Titans is little bro too, but the Titans be trying to act like big bro. Texans know their place as little bro. Titans be trying to act like big bro. I don't respect that. So.
It's like the
Yo,
Dolphins.
This just in. The New Jersey Devils have eliminated the New York Rangers in the NHL
Damn.
playoffs.
Tough,
Tune of
Tough.
4-0 in the elimination game.
God damn.
tough. I'm not gonna lie. 4 hours ago, we got so I'll just say this. This is we got a no-show at MSG. We got a no-show for Emmanuel Quickly. Right? But I mean, here he is showing up to the Met Gala.
Hey, go
Like, he's
party,
there.
my boy. Go have a great
He's
night, my
there.
boy. Live
He's
it up.
there. But where is he in terms of basketball? You know,
Don't
and we
worry
got
about
Knicks fans. Shout out to Mora. That's my dog. She said it's good to know he shows up at some places, and that's the reality of the situation. So shout out to Mora. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to Breeze. Shout out to Brill. Shout out to all my Knicks Twitter supporters and friends over there. I fuck with them.
Hey man,
Um,
quick, go enjoy your night. You only
and
get to do
Naima.
this
Shout
how
out to
many times
Naima.
in your life? You know what I mean? How many times you get to go to the Met Gala in your life? Go party after parties. I'm sure there's gonna be plenty of those.
Facts.
I don't even want you home until 5 in the morning. I don't want you home
Yo,
until 5 in the morning.
I'm not gonna lie.
Live it up.
Damn, what I was gonna say, I just lost my train of thought. The fuck I was gonna say. Oh, damn. No, I lost what I was gonna say. I'm not gonna lie. Totally forgot. I had it. I don't remember it, but it's all good. It'll be there.
Which sport is
So with
it?
that, I mean, huh?
I said
It was about the Heat. Like, it was about. I feel like it was about an interaction today. Okay, it was about an interaction today. Nah, I'm not gonna get it too far
Quickly.
though.
I really thought you
Emmanuel
already
Quickly
had
at
it.
the Met Gala, showing up. We're getting
Yeah,
somewhere.
that's frustrating. That's frustrating though. It's frustrating. Fuck it. It's a lost thought. You guys want to chime in on anything else? You guys got anything else?
Hey, Erling Erland, 50 goals this season in over all competitions. Hold on, let me break this down really quick. If this is where this is about to go, can I pull this up real quick? Yeah, maybe so, maybe not. Erling Erland has scored 50 goals this season. Joins the names of Lionel, Cristiano, names like that I've only done it a handful of times. So 34 goals in the Premier League, 50 goals through all competitions. That includes Champions League, FA Cups, things like that. He came to the Premier League and set the tone. So shouts to that boy Erling Erland again, because this definitely isn't the first time. Probably won't be the last time. And the man is only 22 years old. Like,
That's crazy.
22 years old is wild.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, definitely big shout out to him. Shout out to the Heat fans that I met today. I met a few Heat fans. They were cool people. And they also supported the podcast, followed me, and all that. So shout out to them boys. I appreciate that. Um, Game 2 is gonna be fun, yo. Game 2 is gonna be fun. It's gonna be a dogfight. I'm interested to see what the point of attack is with Jimmy Butler probably out. Um, it's gonna be tough if we lose on Twitter. It's gonna be tough. I have to stand my ground, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I hope y'all boys back me up in them spaces. Well, not y'all boys with Kev. Y'all boys is like Kev, Oz. You know what I'm saying? Heat fans. E. Do you even have a team, bro? I don't.
Nah, bro.
Right?
I like
I didn't
basketball.
think so.
I'm just a fan of the game.
He likes basketball, boys and girls. I'm still kind of caught up on what the fuck I was thinking about. It pissed me off that I lost it. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not getting it back. I'm not getting it back. Like I'm just, fuck. What was it?
Hey, I got something
was
else.
it?
I got something else. 3 Dubs, Small Town EP, Private Nate, PVT Nate, live on all streaming platforms right now. Go stream that right now.
Right now?
Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, wherever you want to listen to it. It's out right now. Stream that video next 7 days. Check me out.
What can they search?
Small Town EP on everything. Spotify,
go.
Tidal, Apple Music, SML, TWN, no vowels. Kind of look like, oops, kind of look like that. You heard? You heard? Small town.
Hey, that's fire. Yeah, y'all go spin that. Y'all go check that out. Show love, support, all that. Kev, how things going on y'all end, bro? How's things going with Raven Productions, Raven Media?
Good, man. Staying busy.
It's Raven, right?
Yeah.
All right. I just gotta make sure I'm saying it right. So we like to hear it, bro.
Everything's staying busy, but yeah, excited. I don't know if you've announced it though, but about May.
You can let them know. We
They're
are.
gonna be in Florida.
That's facts. I'm gonna be in Florida.
I
I
know.
thought it was. I thought it
It's
was
no secret.
something so much bigger. I was like,
I did. I was nervous. I'm like, oh shit, what's going down?
Drew was like, "What the fuck am I doing?"
What's going on? I am excited to go home go back to Florida and see
they're back in town.
I can say home. Go back home and see everybody and spend some time with y'all. My sister's baby shower, man. It's like such a surreal feeling. Um, I didn't see her when I went to Florida because she was up in Tampa with my parents. So like she's pregnant and I haven't seen my sister pregnant, which is crazy. But I'll get a chance to see her pregnant and then I'll have to go back down and actually meet the baby. Shout out to Sal. I'm not sure if since we've spoken I've dropped this, but he's got his baby boy Bryce. Bryce was born I think April 23rd or 25th, 20 something. But shout out to him, baby Bryce. We wish you so much love and blessings in this new world. And baby Charlotte, she's gonna be the best big sister ever. So shout out to Sal and Hev for making such a beautiful family. Shout out to Kevin and Rachel doing their thing. Shout out to Small Town, always working. Shout out to All Things Sports Podcast for getting more known nationally today. That was a cool thing. I met some people. What I wanted to do is like I want to set a goal that like I have to tell like every single day that I leave my house, I have to tell at least 5 people about the podcast.
Love that.
So like, and I mean it's tough because it's not like every single time I leave the house I'm gonna be around people that I feel like sports, but at the same time it's like it doesn't matter, So like I'm trying to fight that. Like fuck it, it don't matter. Just let the word be known, whether it was received or not. 5 people, let's go. So
Let's do it.
kind of where I'm at with it. Kev, you got any final thoughts? Good.
I always got final thoughts. Aaron Rodgers is my quarterback. It's gonna be a great season. Heat in 4. Fuck the Knicks.
I'm gonna end it right there. EP, please.
That's kind of crazy though the way I did that because it's like hyped up a New York team and then said fuck another New York team. But that's just the way I'm built. So I can't.
Aaron
You don't gotta
Rodgers is gonna
explain
break his
yourself, my boy.
clavicle because of you